All right, I got a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just in YouTube videos. A lot of them I tried to share to my Facebook. For some odd reason, they're not showing up. Imagine that. I gotta try to figure out this court thing, but for the time being, I'm going to move these over to a file here. Oh man, put it in the wrong file. Maybe it didn't. Let's open it and see. It did. We'll try it again. And as soon as I move it to this file, I'm going to press play. I got court in a little bit, so 1:30. That's when I got court. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get this thing running so I can do court while I play this video for you. I don't actually remember that music being there. I got personal experience. All right, I fast forward. What did you write about that? Oh, looks like vintage stuff. Random Acts of Kindness Day across the Panhandle, February 17, 2021. It says it's put on by Regional 1 Behavioral Health Facility. All right. On to the Dual County Sheriff's Department. All right. Looks like there are at least 3 Dual County Sheriff's deputies here at the courthouse. And that's a police dog. It's the sheriff's dog. Sure is cute.
Little, looks like a golden half lab. Or half German shepherd.
Here's the stairs. No, I am not going down to the sheriff's department. I am going upstairs because there are safety issues with the sheriff's department. If there is nobody present, I have no reason to speak to them because it is unsafe for me to do so. How was yours?
How are you?
Not very good.
Uh-oh.
People keep throwing the housing thing in my face, but I don't get to speak.
What housing?
Well, the same thing that you were talking to me about last time.
About having a place to stay?
About my place up there.
Uh-huh.
I have been trying to turn in that place for a few years. Now, Cindy has been in trouble on more than one occasion for the situation in the Sydney housing. She's even been in the paper. The situation that happened there, between people judging me and throwing it in my face, and me being allowed to defend myself in the situation, I'd like to be able to defend myself.
Well, do you have a court date?
Not in that. That's the thing, ma'am. I need some help in person. If I go in by myself, I don't get treated like a human being. That's the difference between me going and talking to the sheriff by myself and me going and talking to him with someone there.
But if there's a court case, your court case?
There's not.
Well, then I don't understand. Right. I thought that's why you were here.
No, ma'am. There's
Dealing with
other
people's
court cases.
assumptions
The thing
while
is,
they're
Dual
playing
County
stupid.
Sheriff's Department won't do anything about the crimes against me. I literally have to have someone go in for my safety because of things that they have done previously that are both immoral and illegal. When you said that about housing up there, about how, well, they helped you get housing, yeah, but that didn't stop the violence. That doesn't make it safe for me to go to the police.
I guess I'm just kind of confused. I mean, my house is my safe. That's where I go.
So she goes to compare her situation to mine. She doesn't want to hear about mine. She wants to compare
Right,
hers
but you
to
have a
mine.
house. You are not under the control of people like Cindy.
No, I worked hard to be where I am.
And I worked hard to have more than this too. That's the thing, is when you say that, it's condescending.
It's dismissive as fuck.
Is that to say that I didn't work hard for what I got?
No,
All right,
I
good.
won't let anyone bring me down.
Very good. Well, if you were going through this, you definitely would be down. I'm glad that you have family. I'm glad that you have a house. I'm glad that you're able to work. Those are all very important things.
They are important, John. But I would not bring anyone down. I would not try to belittle anyone.
She does
That's not
belittle
what I
me by
want
her
to do at all.
assumptions.
I feel like we're all human. We don't believe the same way. There are good and bad people in all walks.
Should we all be allowed the same rights?
We should be allowed the same rights. And
But
I
I'm
know-
denied those rights because I'm called mentally ill.
I know that there are different rights for different people, but you know what? I have peace with my maker, and I know how to get through whatever it is.
You're also not being assaulted and threatened every day.
You
You
don't
aren't.
know that because I don't put it out for everyone to hear. You don't. That's
I
the
do.
difference.
I do put it out there for
I know.
everyone to hear. It's
That's the
because I
difference
have to for my
between you and I.
safety.
We
I
have
have to for
differences.
my safety.
Well, sometimes it creates more turmoil within you.
No, ma'am, being assaulted creates turmoil, and it's not within me. Being assaulted is a scary thing.
It's not fun.
It's not.
I'm well aware there's different things with all of it. Did you ever talk to Pastor Rob?
I did. And he decided that he was going to judge me and throw that in my face as well.
Now see,
However, he
that's
did
right.
sit there and allow me to make a report to the sheriff, or not to the sheriff, to Deputy Holloway. And Holloway, as he has done when somebody is present once before, he actually at least pretended to listen. Now, normally when I go to him and I have to talk to him by myself, he doesn't treat me in the same way. And that's the reason that it's important to have someone there. Now, that's no guarantee that they're actually going to investigate it, but at least it keeps his conduct professional. And that's the important part about having someone there. Out of the thousands of crimes that have been committed against me in the last 4 years, people have only gone in with me to report them 3 times. And all 3 of them here in Chapel, Nebraska.
That's not
The
true.
first 2
Was
crimes were
Sydney.
never
My apologies.
investigated by Dual County Sheriff's Department, and why would they after what they've done?
But were they here? Did they occur here?
They did occur here.
By the way, this is the 4th time somebody went with
That's
me.
the thing. And, you know, there are multiple times that I've gone down here to try to speak to the police about it and been blown off. Repeatedly
way,
with Chris
Holloway's
Kerr,
nice fault.
repeatedly with Robert Warnick, and the assault 3 days ago by Robert Warnick should have never happened. The first time that he threatened my life, Dual County Sheriff's Department should have gone to talk to him. The second time he threatened my life, Dual County Sheriff's Department should have gone to talk to him. But I got blown off. If I'd have had somebody go in with me, it would have been different. Now, when I talked to Pastor Rod, he said, well, you should have called 911 immediately. With the history with Dual County Sheriff's Department, calling 911, they haven't written reports. The situation that
I do want to point out that this jurisdictional bullshit did not apply the other way around. These people are allowed to say whatever they want from any jurisdiction. Natalie Bollinger was allowed to bring up anything from any jurisdiction. I couldn't even go to court. And repeatedly after that, I was prevented illegally from going to court. The police abused their power to prevent me from going to court and facing my accusers. There are no good people left in the world. Ventus was too busy trying to get laid. God, that made me feel loved. Of course, Stephanie Mejia was too busy trying to get laid, ignoring the situation, making every excuse. Like, hey, Stephanie, you came here to help me, so actually help me. Take a look at this shit. Now, obviously, if you listen to the conversations between me and Stephanie, yeah, she was supposed to come down here to actually help me. And I do have dozens of conversations with her that are not on YouTube. They will be if I have my way about it. All right, let's see this. NebraskaNews.com. I do want to bring this up. August 7th, 2020. That was here. This is about Cindy. She's the person who is in charge of the housing here in Chapel, Nebraska as well. It says residents at Western Heritage engaged in a protest on 11th Avenue in Sydney Thursday morning as a last resort to plea for help fixing maintenance issues and stopping disrespect from Sydney Housing Authority, the owners and operators of the complex. Who in specific? Ah, yes, and Nancy Bentley. Housing Authority Executive Director Nancy Bentley doesn't believe there's any bullying towards residents. Bullshit. I'm actually going to post this up for you guys to read it. Copy. See, these guys cover each other's asses. So we'll post this over here on the side. Press paste. Blam! We're not heard. Poor people don't matter.
I tried to bring to them about Ted Bollinger and his daughter and their harassment at my grandma's funeral. Jordan Anderson didn't even write it down. Didn't bother. Made zero effort. Now, I watched the video, and at the very beginning, Graham tells the officer that I have Asperger's and Tourette syndrome, which God and everybody knows. You were probably aware of that when I was in high school. I went to school with your kids. Well, we even had a speech about it, the Tourette syndrome part, in my first week there, so that people would be aware of it.
They
That
were
was
still
in
assholes.
Mrs. Hardy's class, I believe. That she was a special ed teacher. And anyway, at my grandma's funeral, when I was trying to turn that in, and Jordan Anderson showed up, oh, Holloway's here. He was supposed to call me this morning, but he hasn't. Anyway, when I brought it to Jordan Anderson, Graham came out and said, you know, I have Tourette syndrome and Asperger's, and the deputy said, is this one of those things where you just need someone to talk to? No, I didn't need someone just to talk to. I need to turn in what those people were doing and had been doing. But he didn't take it seriously, and he also didn't write it down.
I'm going to pause this. The next thing that I'm going to post up is actually that interaction. It's only half of the story of that night. That's only half of it. Mind you, this shit happened for 7 hours. Ted Bollinger gave no indication that his daughter Alicia was alive. She had my phone number, and he was asking for my phone number. So that right there was a red goddamn flag for me. We'll press play on this.
And when you make a 911 call, you have to write it down, and he didn't.
Well, the 911 station has them. They have all their court calls on record.
The calls being on record is completely different than the police officers writing a report after a 911 call.
Especially since they're allowed.
Stuff, so I don't know what
Asperger's, and the deputy said, "Is this one of those things where you just
Back
need
up
someone to talk to?"
it.
No, I didn't need someone just to talk to. I needed to turn in what those people were doing and had been doing. But he didn't take it seriously, and he also didn't write it down. And when you make a 911 call, you have to write it down, and he didn't.
Well, the 911 station has them. They have all their court calls on record.
The calls being on record is completely different than the police officers writing a report after a 911 call.
And I guess they're not here to defend themselves, so I don't know what they did. You know, I just.
But she's going to assume.
That's right. They were allowed to let go. Oh, it's not just feeling that way. These are facts. I shouldn't have had to deal with that. When I went to Scott about it, he gave me the CD, and I was grateful for it. And then I watched it. And I came back and I said, "Did you investigate it?" He said, "No." I said, "Did you watch the video?" He said, "Part of it." I said, "Well, why did you stop?" He said, "Well, your friend said that you were bipolar." I said, "He did not say I was bipolar. He said I have Asperger's and I have Tourette syndrome."
And that's the very beginning of the video.
It
He
should have been
literally stopped it at
investigated.
the
Something
beginning.
should have been done. And he admits that that officer should have written the 911 written a report, because if you dial 911 and the police literally have to write a report about it. They have to. It's against the law for them not to.
What's the statute?
Well, ma'am, I can't regurgitate every statute number to you. I would love to be able to do that.
I've never heard that.
Well,
Yes.
it was an officer here in Nebraska who told me that, which makes it easy. But also, officers keep telling me different things depending on which officer.
Well, I'm not an attorney, so I can't quote statutes to you. I just know that there's statutes I have to follow in my office.
Do you know the numbers to all of them?
I know what chapter to look in.
Well, see, you're asking me for a statute, and I don't know the numbers, neither do you.
So I assumed that you knew which it was, you know.
And that's where a lot of this comes in really unhandy, is that people make assumptions, they don't bother looking. For me, people tell me a lot of things. That's not meant as an insult.
It's okay.
Well, it's not, because I'm not trying to insult you.
Sometimes people take things differently, and I just
You're correct. You are correct. I also am not going to take it personally how you take things, because it's not my choice how you think or how you feel. Yes, ma'am. I also absolutely refuse to hate you.
Well, I'm glad, because I don't hate you. As I said, there's good and bad people in all walks, Sean.
Well, ma'am, there's a lot of situations that I've been in,
If this
and
should happen to them, they'd be pissed.
And I needed someone there
But it
with
didn't,
me
so they
so
make
that the
excuses.
officers would take it seriously.
Everything Polly says is dismissive as fuck.
I agree that there are times when you feel safe. You should feel safe all the time.
You're right. It's difficult to do when I'm being assaulted and threatened no matter where I go. People say, "Why are you in Chapel, Nebraska if people do that to you?" Because it's safer than anywhere else. It really is. I don't know anyone anywhere else. I don't have a safety network anywhere else, and I literally can't take care of myself, which is the biggest thing that my predators have taken advantage of. I literally cannot take care of myself. People think that because I'm smart, that it means that I can't be disabled, or because I don't have a lisp or a speech impediment, that I can't be disabled. And that's simply not the case.
No, but you should be allowed, like your housing, you should be allowed to be there and be safe.
And I wasn't safe there.
Why weren't you safe?
Because I can't just stay in my house all day, every day. I have to go out to do things. I have to go out to get groceries. I have to go out to, there's lots of different things that I have to go out to do. Not only that, there's all of the issues with the safety in town of if I go outside, I have to record it. If I don't record it, and somebody commits crimes against me or harms me, I can't prove it. It's their word versus mine. They call me mentally ill and they automatically win. Like when I got into that fight with Zach Metcalf in high school. He threw the first punch, but he didn't have any consequences. Meanwhile, me and Rose Melvin are downstairs in the ladies' cell right off the the sheriff's office, cleaning up blood from a homeless person that Hayes beat the crap out of. And mind you, before Rose died, we did discuss that. I did record it. And
now, how do those events connect? First of all, Polly Olsen used to date Sheriff Jim Hayes. That's first of all. Actually, that's second of all. First of all is that that was my community service for winning a fight against Zach Metcalf. Because I was attacked by Zach Metcalf, I was suspended from school and had to clean up blood that existed as a result of who? Her ex-boyfriend, Jim Hayes. Literally, her office is right above the blood that me and Rose Melvin cleaned up. And yeah, the conversation with me and her over at Hanson's Texco is on here. On my YouTube channel.
that's on my YouTube as well. I don't want to put this stuff on YouTube. I want the violence to stop.
Well, I don't know. I think it would just be more and more and more to you. There's some things that happen in life I don't want to live. I want to move on.
I'm forced to relive it. There's no such thing as moving on in this scenario.
It's gonna be like playing over and over in front of you.
But I live it continually. I live the consequences of it.
Use your energy to find a way to make it better.
That's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. The problem is, when you are called mentally ill, it doesn't matter. You aren't allowed to do anything. You have to have someone present. That's the only way to get something done. Like Holloway, the 2 times that he actually listened to me, once was because Laura Nelson went in, and one of them was because of Pastor Wright.
But Laura helped you a lot, Noah. She did nothing but good for you.
That is not true. She never spoke up.
Talking about situations that she was not there for.
But that's the same type of harassment that you're saying you're being accused of.
Ma'am, the difference is I'm not threatening to kill her.
See, that's the thing, is that Polly is literally making excuses for everyone. No matter what, she is too busy making assumptions and being dismissive. She's not hearing a word that I have to say. She has an excuse prepared for everything. Literally, she was here for none of those things. What does she know about the situation with me and Laura Nelson? Not shit. And she's not going to hear it. She's too busy making excuses. Too busy making excuses. This is Chapel fucking Nebraska for you folks. Matter of fact, I'm going to press play on this and I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to, I don't know. I just know that I'm going to talk through this whole goddamn thing. You guys aren't fucking retarded, are you? Are you hearing this shit? Literally, she's making excuses every step of the way. Was she there for the situation with Laura Nelson? No, she fucking wasn't. She wasn't there for any of it, but she's making excuses for Laura Nelson. Saying Laura Nelson did all of this shit for me. Polly, were you there for it? Were you there for any of that, Polly? No, you fucking weren't. You have no place speaking of that. You are too busy, literally too busy, comparing your pretty life to mine, but you're not willing to listen to what the fuck I'm going through. You are too busy making excuses, and that's why I went in to record you today. Because you were too busy making excuses. The last 4 times I went in to talk to Polly, she was too busy making fucking excuses to hear a goddamn word I have to say. No, I can't trust somebody who's too busy making excuses. Were you there for it, Polly? Were you there for it? No, you weren't. You fucking weren't.
I'm not threatening to burn her house down. I'm not assaulting her. But she is aware of the situation. She is more than aware of it.
I can totally understand.
She's busy grasping for
But you
fucking
don't
straws.
understand why I'm hurt when I am being harmed daily.
But hurting someone back doesn't.
I'm not doing it to hurt her.
You are hurting her.
So
No,
you're
I'm
gonna
not.
defend my presence.
Telling the
She
truth is not
predatory
hurting
in this
Laura
case.
Nelson.
At this point, she truly is.
I'm not gonna argue.
Telling the truth
Neither am
is
I. I
not
got what I
hurting
need.
Laura Nelson. And this woman literally is.
Thank you,
That
ma'am.
is all she is doing is arguing. She is not hearing a word I have to say. She is too busy with her goddamn excuses. No, Polly Olsen. Nobody in America can possibly think of you as a decent person when you're doing this bullshit. You say that you weren't there for it at the very beginning. You say, I wasn't there for it, so I can't say nothing. But here you are talking about all sorts of things that you weren't there for. Too busy making excuses. You have already assumed my guilt. And that's why you're a piece of shit, Polly. And Holloway talks to me like a person in this.
You have a wonderful day. Fine. Thank you.
Listen to how Holloway treats me. He makes me feel like a human being, even laughs at my jokes.
Yes, he does.
He's proven the opposite. No loving God would allow this.
He loves you. We don't know his purpose, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah. You know, the reason for it might be because somebody might grow some cojones and actually step up to the plate. Not likely, but it's possible.
Put your energy to good.
I am.
Put
People
your
are dead
energy to
because
good.
I wasn't hurt. Tabor Hatay was killed at Clearview over a year after I tried to turn them in. He was killed literally by the same exact things they did to me. Literally killed. The officer who assaulted me before they found Natalie's killer. He assaulted 6 more people after he
So
assaulted
that was
me.
in Colorado, correct?
Ma'am, this was taking place across multiple jurisdictions in multiple states.
And that's why they can't do anything here, because it was there.
No, ma'am. They can do something about the stuff that I have to deal with here, and they haven't. No matter what jurisdiction it's in. The people who have been threatening, harassing, and assaulting me in this town, they've been threatening, harassing, and assaulting me over the news in Colorado when Natalie died. I have to deal with that to this day. Now, I'm not trying to blame everything that happened in Colorado on the cops. The fact is, they didn't do anything about any of the threats, harassment, and assault here in this town, by Chris Kerr or by Robert Warnick. And Robert Warnick is a registered sex offender. He shouldn't have assaulted me 2 days ago, and I shouldn't be so afraid of going to the cops. But their conduct is showing me that I have to.
Focus your energy on good.
I have been. I'm trying to change the
focus
laws
on
so that
good.
these things aren't allowed to happen anymore. So that people like me who are disabled aren't victimized for their disabilities. So they don't have to deal with bad cops. You know why the cops start doing the illegal and immoral things they do? Because I'm trying to turn in cops. And Jared Hong and Cody Stelhorst were trying to run me out of town. I shouldn't have had to deal with those two ever again. I tried to turn them in and got committed. When I was trying to turn in the sheriff last month, I got assaulted by him. That's not okay. Yesterday, I flipped 2 people off walking down the road, and guess what? I got to hear when I went over to a friend's house, Hey, I heard you were flipping off every car that drove by. No, I flipped off two people in specific. One of them was one of the state patrol officers who took part in the assault, and the other one was Cindy from low-income housing. I don't feel bad for that, and I'm not going to. What they did was immoral. You are correct. I've been trying. The only solution is to have someone there and present. When you were called mentally ill, that is literally the it works. But I have to beg people. I shouldn't have had to beg before Natalie died or after. When you were called mentally ill, you have zero rights. Police officers. You know what? Natalie is dead. It doesn't matter if she is dead.
That should be done.
No, ma'am, it's not done because I continue to be harmed over a false narrative that I was never allowed to defend myself against. Police officers repeatedly turned off their body cameras. Repeatedly. They shouldn't have been allowed to do that. Not Jared Hahn, not Cody Selborg, and not the sheriff. That's not acceptable. Now they turn on one body camera. I've got hundreds of phone calls. There are lots of recordings that I have that are not all on the internet for a reason. Because there is too much personal information in those. That doesn't mean that those crimes weren't committed. It means that I don't want to have to post up stuff about people's kids. I've been focusing on good while enduring the worst evil you can imagine. But getting somebody to look at it instead of making excuses, well, that's not going to happen in this town.
You need someone qualified. Someone that's able to do that.
Rob Wright's not qualified to do anything, but he sat there with me. That's all I needed, was someone to sit there with me so that I could make a report. Every single person who is called mentally ill needs that. Every single male needs that. Every homeless person needs that. We need to have someone who will sit there with us so that we can make a report to the police without being treated in a very negative and immoral way.
But if you treat them with negativity,
Ma'am, I treated them with respect.
afterwards, if they don't do what you want, they're not going to help you.
Ma'am, they never did help me. That's the problem. And you weren't there for that, but you're making assumptions. Rod did help me.
Okay?
He also passed a lot of judgment on me before he did that.
So right now, you're turning it around on them.
No, ma'am. I'm telling the truth. I know, chuckle. You think it's funny. You're not taking
No,
it
I
serious.
know it's like, I'm sad.
But you're making excuses for my predators. Rob Wright is not one of my predators. Not even close. He didn't do anything harmful to me. I'm going to let you go see the best word. Thank you, Polly.
I said that to him, but that's perfect. Hey, how's it going, Sean?
I was still breathing. I saw Robert Warren this morning. Have you spoken to him yet?
I got a meeting with him tonight.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yep. So, yeah, I called him last night. He just got home, and then he said that'd be the earliest to get with him. So I got to talk with him tonight. Go from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Deputy Holloway.
Yep. You stay somewhere warm last night?
I did. I got a video court appointment at 1:30, so I got to get up there and take care of that.
Okay.
After that, I don't have a safe place to go. I don't have a warm place to go.
Okay. Did you check with, was it Rob Church over here?
I did. He can't help me.
Okay.
We were talking about that before you showed up. Matter of fact, I've been trying to get a safe environment for me for the last 4 years. There's a lot of stuff that I need to turn in, like the situation with Cindy withholding information that I am legally entitled to. And also the situation where I need someone there whenever I talk to you guys and try to make a report for my own safety because of the conduct of officers.
Yeah.
I do need someone there. I'm not sure if you noticed, but, well, when Laura Nelson was there was not any issues. There was no communication issues, nothing. When Rod was there was no communication issues, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a far better and professional way for it to be handled, for it to be dealt with. And the fact is that I haven't had that. Now with Jen Beebe, with the previous situations, she wasn't there to help me. She was there under opinions that were based on what two officers that I was trying to turn in had told her. That's not my fault. It's not my choice. But Jordan Anderson, he did not do his job when there was a 911 call, so it wasn't documented. And it was a serious situation with Natalie Bollinger's twin sister and her dad and their harassment at my grandmother's funeral, and that did need to be taken seriously. These people have harassed me nationwide, and I have spoken up nationwide. Everywhere that I go, talking to the police is always the same. When you are called mentally ill, they always do the same thing. When you go in alone, especially as a male, police tend to blow you off. Is my voice too loud right now?
No, I just heard somebody going. I was just looking to see if they're walking this way or not. So you're good.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good start. I just wanted to make sure that it was being investigated. The situation with Chris Kurth, his brother actually talked to him for me and assured me that Chris is not going to do anything more like that. Mm-hmm. I still need to make sure that it is documented, and I don't want Chris harmed. Mm-hmm. I do believe that he's going to leave me alone. If he doesn't, well, I will have to find somebody to come in with me, and that's the impossible thing, is that there's nowhere else for me to go. People keep trying to run me out of town or tell me to go elsewhere, and I don't have the money or the ability. I don't have the mental ability or the physical ability, and people keep pretending that my disabilities don't exist because I don't have a list or a speech impediment. That's not okay. I am disabled. Now, police have repeatedly tried to have me locked up because these people bullied me to the point that I want my life to end every single day. I don't need to be locked up and injected with drugs. I need something done about the bullies and the harassment and the threats and the assault. And I'm hoping that the situation yesterday with Rod will result in Robert Warnick. This is the third time that there has been an issue like this. Yeah. And it's the third time that I've tried to turn it in to get something done. And at this point, it's obvious that he needs to be incarcerated. This is not okay. And I understand that he's got kids. I understand that. But the fact is that just because he's got kids does not make that conduct okay. I don't want to break the law to try to force somebody to investigate those things. I would rather have somebody going in person. But we need to have someone to advocate locally, and those things do need to be recorded, and it needs to be recorded by the advocate. It needs to be recorded. There needs to be the availability for that, because I repeatedly tried to get body cameras from other officers that I've spoken to, and they tell me that I have to get an attorney for that. I can't get an attorney. I have no money. I don't have a safe place to go. I still need a safe place.
Do you remember who your caseworker was? Was it out of Oglala or Sydney?
I don't actually have a caseworker. Now, Tara Smith or Tara Miller was apparently supposed to be. Okay. But when she's come down, it's been a situation where I need to be able to show her things, a lot of things that are on the internet, and I got to meet with her in the basement here. The Nebraska State Patrol, they're going to try to meet me on Thursday, and on Thursday, they're going to put everything into a pickup, and we're going to go to the library to try to show all that. And then where do I go from there? Really, the one thing that I've been really thinking about is going and knocking on former Sheriff Jeff Ortiz's door and saying, hey, you know me. Is there any way that you can help me with this, help me go through this, and help to advocate for me? Problem is, I don't really trust him. I don't trust anybody with a badge. And he doesn't have a badge anymore. He doesn't have the stresses or the constraints of the Dual County Sheriff's Department or any other department for that matter. So there's a possibility that he could help me. His wife, Michelle, has always been pleasant to me. But at the same time, I'm if I go there, he has to deal with public opinion, and he's aware of that. And if I go and ask him, chances are pretty good that because of public opinion, he's going to say no. And I am prepared for that, and I'm kind of scared to go ask him as a result of that, but I'm willing. We've had our problems in the past, but at the same time, that was over a decade ago that we had issues.
Yeah, usually we go through either HHS. I'll reach out to them, see if they can find somewhere. Usually temporary housing we go through the church over here.
I need permanent housing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's prison or a permanent home or whatever, but it needs to be a safe environment. And there is no such thing as a safe environment because I haven't been allowed to defend myself in court. I haven't been allowed to show this evidence, and because of my disabilities, I can't process it all. I mean, we took 1,800 pictures, 1,800 photographs just of paper evidence that I have. I don't have the time or the mental ability or the place to process all of that, especially with all of the time constraints of the courts. And the thing is, I never should have had to break the law to begin with.
I'll try my best, but unfortunately, housing out this way, it's panhandle. There's not much for
Yes, sir.
resources out this way, okay?
Well, one of the things that I needed to turn in was Cindy's conduct towards me, and I do have recordings of that, but like with everything, when there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of recordings, thousands of pieces of evidence, I have to dig through all of that, and I don't have a place to do it.
Yeah. I'll work on that too. Try my best. But no problems, okay?
I get that. I don't expect it to go anywhere if this is western Nebraska.
Yeah. Fortunately, housing and mental health services out here kind of sucks.
That's right, they do.
So,
The other thing is, there was something else I was wanting to bring up, but I got a lot of stuff going through my head right now, so I lost it. I went OCD, or ADOS, attention deficit. Oh, squirrel! Don't laugh at my jokes, it only encourages me.
well, if they're funny, I'm going to laugh.
Yeah, you are the best looking cop in town.
Appreciate it.
And that doesn't mean I want to touch your butt, because I don't.
Oh, good. I don't want you to touch my butt.
All right.
Married.
All right.
You going downstairs to talk to the... There, you're going to the library. You said you had to talk to...
No, that'll be on Thursday. I have to do the court thing today. It's going to be video court, so I got to head back over to where I got internet access.
Okay.
Although it's just temporary. I'm allowed that until 4 o'clock this evening, and then I will be out in the snow.
Okay. I'll make some phone calls here and see what we can do for you.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately, temporary housing, you might be able to maybe ask Rod, at least for the night, so you're out of the snow. Usually that's where we put, like, when the interstate closes and people get stuck in the snow, we try to go through him.
I talked to him yesterday.
Nothing.
No go.
Okay.
We discussed that before you showed up.
Okay.
He said he's only there for spiritual guidance, and I'm down with that, except that I am morally guided.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to change the laws concerning people who are considered mentally ill, and also how difficult it is to get someone there and present in order to record those things.
Yeah. It is Western Nebraska. Really difficult. It's kind of the Wild West out here.
It's not the Wild West, otherwise I'd have gotten myself a firearm and gone after these people myself. Luckily for them, I am a lot more decent human being. I'm not actively going out and pursuing violence against anyone. That is just not my way. I'd rather collect the evidence and find somebody to turn it into than go and kill my predators. Although many of the people in town have threatened literally to kill me, I understand that killing them would stop them from being able to do such a thing, but then I end up in prison.
Then you end up in prison, yeah.
And the other thing is, I'm totally down with prison. I'm just not down with killing people. I need to either be heard or I need to be locked up somewhere for my own safety. I can't just continue to take the abuse.
I'll work on that today. Got the meeting with Robert tonight or this evening. It's not going to be too late that night. give you a phone
Yes, sir.
call probably tomorrow. I don't know how late that's going to run tonight.
All right.
I'll give you an update, okay?
I was looking at trying to get phone repaired. I wasn't able to find out how to get it repaired locally. I had people tell me they think it's about $220 for the repair, and some other people told me it's only about 30. But that's word of mouth. I haven't been able to find anything.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. Nearest one I saw was like North Platte when I looked on the computer. It's, let's see, Vero maybe. They might be able to. They might be able to at least send it up, get it fixed. Who is your cell phone provider?
It's Total Wireless, but the company that makes the phone, it's a TCL phone.
TCL.
Yep.
Okay. TCL. Phone. And I will try to find something, but from what I understand, yeah, it's about that $150, $200 range for the screen repair.
It's more important to get my phone fixed.
Yeah.
Replacing it doesn't do any good. It's full of evidence that shows my predators and what they've been doing. I can't go without that evidence. Also, I can't do any of the things that I need to do as far as making phone calls because all of my phone numbers are lost.
Yeah.
Also, the assault by Robert is on that phone, so I need to be able to retrieve that from it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of that. There's also proof of a lot of other crimes on that phone that need to be pulled out and issued to the different departments they need to go to because, like I said, it's all over the country. The situation with Natalie Bollinger makes me a victim everywhere I go. The situation with Chris Kurth is over the death of Natalie Bollinger. The situation with Robert Warnick is over the death of Natalie Bollinger. And these are all situations that I shouldn't be having to deal with.
Yeah.
I didn't kill Natalie. And people say, oh, well, you know, they found her killer, so you should just let it go. I'm like, I can't. I'm still being harmed over it. How do you let something go that still happens? Like when people say, you know, somebody who was raped 20 years ago, oh, you just need to let it go. It happened 20 years ago.
All right.
Being raped,
So we got
it's a lot different story.
some little bitch here calling himself Rich Life Punk typed, dude, I just did telekinesis for Ativan. You seeing this shit? Did you open the portal? Hello again. Dez, sleeper agents in my wall. Is this the 666 void? Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. So we'll do what it is that I do. Fuck you, you little cunt rag. We're gonna report this time. Unwanted commercial content or spam? Close enough. Report. Okay, and then the next one, we're going to hit hide user on this channel. We'll press play again.
I got your number saved into this phone. This is my work one. I'll give you a call on anything I can find, okay?
Yes, sir. There's got to be a way to get someone here so that I can safely make a police report and not be afraid. I don't know how to go about that.
Yeah.
We've made hundreds of phone calls. If you look at my YouTube channel, I mean, me and Meg have made it. Just her and I in the last month, just her has made over 100 phone calls, and I've probably made easily that many or more. How am I supposed to take care of myself when I have to jump through all these hoops and I don't have the resources for it? Then there's the fact that
those resources were all taken away over false charges, by the way.
The people who are assaulting me here are assaulting me over the situation with Natalie. I was never allowed to defend myself in that, and the conduct of the officers in Colorado is far worse than the ones here. And the cops here are basically just trying to cover their own butts. The cops there were trying to bring me for murder. Big difference.
Big.
So as far as if Jordan Anderson admitted that he screwed up, Jared Hahn admitted that he screwed up, and Cody Selhorst admitted that he screwed up. And I let that go.
All right.
I'm good. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
No, yeah, that was good. I meant to come up here to talk to Polly.
Oh, but I was busy with her.
Yeah, you were busy, so we got to ask her about some CPR stuff.
Yes, sir. How that works. Do they have a CPR clinic here soon?
He needs to get retrained on it, so I was wondering when she might be able to schedule something.
I'm not trained in CPR. I'd like to learn. How much is it? I have to ask her.
Yeah, we can go over and ask. I don't know how much you charge it. Okay. I was gonna wonder about CPR stuff. So I'll find out for you, and I'll let you know. Okay.
Thanks, sir. Be safe.
Be safe too.
That's that police dog going off. Poor thing. Oh my God. Dang, it sounds like he's trying to beat his way out of that thing. Quite beautiful. All right. Well, we're going to put this up on the internet, as well it should be. I will probably turn it off. And if there's anybody who approaches me, then I'll turn it back on. God, this is a pain. That's part of the way that they keep this separated. It's not our jurisdiction, not our jurisdiction, not our jurisdiction. Wrong state, wrong state, wrong state. Of course, the Cheyenne Sheriff's Department, or Cheyenne County Sheriff's Department, they tell me I got to go to Dula County. Well, the problem is that Dula County are the people I had an issue with to begin with. Now, there was also the situation where Deputy Holloway, talking to him just now, you notice he talked to me like a human being. That was very nice. He didn't cut me off. He didn't start being accusational. He didn't throw stuff in my face. That's the thing about passing judgment. A lot of people have done that. Of course, then people want to say that,
All right, now we got this bitch rogue mod. He's just gonna keep on doing this. He typed, someone installed an Ativan camera in the corner of my room. They're taking my telekinesis, and we go hide user on this channel. Damn, that's fucking easy. If only it was that fucking easy in real life.
God is going to fix it. That's cute. God's not going to go to work for you. God is not going to hire you a lawyer. God is not going to show up in court. God will not put your boots on for you. God is not going to put gas in your vehicle. What is God going to do? Watch. That's what God's going to do. God is going to watch.
I am pissed off about all of the right things.
A lot of people want to pretend that, well, like Dennis and Brenda Dickinson, for example. They want to pretend that they're not willing to help me because I spoke out on the internet. When the fact of the matter is, I spoke out on the internet because they never spoke up. They never actually helped. See, it doesn't matter what you do if you aren't willing to say so, if you aren't willing to admit it. Now, I was kind to Dennis yesterday, or a day before yesterday.
I think it was 4 days ago.
So I think it was like 4 days ago.
Jeff the Troll.
Yeah, I was kind
Dude,
to him.
why don't you do telekinesis?
I did not record him.
I'd use her
There's
on
a
this
reason
channel.
that I didn't record him.
Easy.
I love him very much. I really do. The other thing is,
Tells type, why are you
he doesn't
abusing
know
out of
shit.
God?
He doesn't know jack squat about what's going on. I didn't go over there to talk to him about the Natalie situation or the assaults.
Now, the threats on the internet, it's not just the threats on the internet that are the problem. It's the fact that so many of the Bollingers and their friends took part in this. These people should have left me the fuck alone when I left Virginia, but they wouldn't. What these people did was abhorrently wrong. And by denying me the right to face my goddamn accusers repeatedly, they have destroyed any chance that I have at a decent life. I literally had to break the law because of the quantity of abuse. And the cops, knowing it was going on, did everything in their power to hide that fact. Fuck this goddamn country.
I went over there to speak to him like a human being and see if there's still a human being in there. The things that I talked about with Uncle D, that's what I always called him. Dennis Dickinson. Well, there's some moral or maybe immoral discrepancies, I don't know. But with him, it's just a morality issue. Now, that morality issue does have a little bit to do with the situation, but really, he wasn't involved in it. His wife was.
All right. I need a safe place to process this and help doing so. What I get is bullshit and fucking lies. How am I supposed to make the right decisions when the information that I have is straight up fucking lies? You either tell the truth or I will. That's what y'all don't fucking get. If you can't help me because your grandma fucking died, then you can speak up and say, I wanted to help Sean. I couldn't because of family issues. You can say that to the cops. You can say that to the courts. If you make me do it, I'm going to tell them exactly the reason you didn't tell the fucking truth. Exactly the reason. If you tell me your grandma fucking died, I'm going to post up the fucking screenshot of you telling me your grandma died. You had a fucking choice. You had the choice. between telling the truth and allowing people to harm me. You chose to allow people to harm me. That was your choice. You are the bad guy for that. Varnish Van Life typed, if you did telekinesis, this wouldn't have happened. You see the fucking harassment. Hide user on this channel. If only it was that fucking easy in real life.